And now we join the Britannia Challenge Cup Thames Rowing Club against Lady Rohesia Boat Club.
Go!
Britannia Challenge Club, Cox fours. Coxes in both these boats at the front of the boat. We're looking at the 4 athletes that are sprinting it along. Lady Rohesia, Bedford Modern Old Boys. They'll know each other well from schoolboy days, coming back together to race under Lady Rohesia. And they've met Thames Rowing Club there. A club at the moment that have got a really great programme, really good strength and depth, and it's Thames Rowing Club that get the better start, just leading at the end of the island. So we look at these sideward shots, John.
This is the club event for the Coxed Fours, so it has the reputation of being for the big bruisers. They're carrying the Cox, which is always deemed to be the dead weight. Of course, any Cox, I would totally disagree with that. The Cox provides a tremendous amount of motivation and organisation of a crew. But anyway, they had their first round yesterday, and
now we're going to join this race live at Forley. We've got Thames Rowing Club in the picture there. Nicholas Turnbull, Charles Hobart, Henry Poor, Harry Dorrance-King and Hannah Watkins, their Cox, and they've had a fantastic first half of the course, and they are looking at their opposition, Lady Rohesia, on their left-hand side. All 4 athletes will be able to see that. The coxswain, Hannah, she won't be able to see it because she's looking forward, but she'll be looking now towards the finish line. Yes,
it looks like Thames have done a very good job here. They had a reasonably competitive first round against Deal Warman and Kingsdown Amateur Rowing Club yesterday, beating by a length and a half. Lady Rohesia beat Upper Thames, the local club, only by a length, so they had quite a tight race yesterday, but I think that Thames Rowing Club here got the beating of them, and Rohesia certainly keeping their pressure on. I rather like the hats. I'm sure that's not a fashion statement. They're there for a good reason, no doubt, but cooler conditions today, and I'm sure that they're much more appropriate for racing than we had yesterday, where it was the hottest day in July ever recorded, and I really did feel for the athletes trying to compete in those conditions, so unusually hot. It's not something that you can practice and something you can necessarily cope with, but we dealt with it very well yesterday, as did the athletes. So Thames here looking reasonably comfortable and striking sort of 30 strokes a minute there, and looking organised enough to be able to sit on this and manage this result. It's looking like a good result for Thames.
Yeah, absolutely. If you look at that Thames Empacher, that yellow boat that they're both in, actually, you can see the shell on the left-hand side. It's just running a little bit smoother, a little bit straighter. I'm noticing the Lady Rohesia boat, it's really snaking, actually, as they go along each stroke, and that'll be taking off a bit of boat speed. That's the athletes fighting against each other, and what you're looking for in rowing is this synchronicity, and we're beginning to see that very well in the Thames Rowing Club boat there, really pushing it on. I think there's some statements in the facial hair there. John, these guys have come here to perform, and when they push on there, working together, working in unison, and it's creating a better boat speed.
It's an interesting point you make, because it goes back to this thing about the advantages of a Cox, because that snaking, it's just as the stroke is being taken, you see a little bit of a wobble from side to side, and this is something that the Cox can deal with and does deal with, which of course in a Cox's boat would be an issue, and is often the case when boats find themselves getting a bit too close to the booms and so on. And it can be just the enthusiasm of one particular person in the boat, particularly in fours rather than in quads, where you've got a blade on either side. So if the person who is furthest nearest the bow is getting too enthusiastic, then he starts steering the boat, which is a bad thing.
Yeah, but you can absolutely see the focus of that Lady Rohesia crew. They want to press it on, but at the moment it's Thames Rowing Club passing the stewards' enclosures. The deck chairs that will be filled with colourful blazers and the colourful dresses later on today, but right now they're here to take on the applause. They come past the stands. Thames Rowing Club pressing it on. They're going to be pretty pleased with their performance in the Brit, coming across here at just under 26 strokes a minute. They've got it under control, plenty of cover, their puddles moving away as they press towards the finish line, past the floating grandstand. We've got Thames Rowing Club finishing their race now, receiving the beep, and Lady Rohesia, I'm sure they're going to be pushing on all the way through. There they are, a fantastic performance by the Bedford Modern Old Boys.